Swallow, dribble drive all the way. No, Joe hammers it home.
While most of the hype in this year's draft surrounded the Warriors' 28th pick, the Golden State Warriors had another ace up their sleeve that slipped under the radar. That is the 44th pick in the draft, second rounder Ryan Rollins. Now, usually there aren't that many players in the second round that pan out, but let's not forget that Nikola Jokic was drafted at 42, Draymond Green at 35, Marc Gasol, Malcolm Brogdon, and Chris Middleton, among others, were also drafted in the second round. To go even further, Raptors champion Fred VanVleet was actually undrafted, so with some careful scouting, there's talent to be found throughout the draft. But obviously, being drafted in the second round is no guarantee that a player will turn out to be great. For example, there was Smailagic. Even first rounders tend to have trouble making it in the league at times, so it takes a really special player to come out of the second round and make it in the NBA. In comes Ryan Rollins, a 6'3" guard out of Toledo with a 6'9" wingspan, who was so good last year, the Warriors traded up to get him. Now, while they did trade up to get Smailagic as well, there are a few key differences with Rollins. His coach over in Toledo was the first in his corner, saying about Rollins, "I said all along that he was an NBA player." Let's see why Bob Myers is so hyped about Rollins as an NBA player. Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Switch. Rollins has been playing basketball for as long as he could remember. Both his parents played, and his brother as well played in college. Prior to selecting Rollins, the Warriors had the 51st and 55th pick in the draft. In order to move up to select Rollins at 44, the Dubs traded their 51st pick plus $2 million for the right to draft Rollins. Now, I don't know about you, but nothing says bank like dropping $2 million to select a player 7 spots up. For comparison, on the rookie pay scale, $2 million is about what you'd have to pay the 22nd overall pick in the draft his first year in the league. While the Warriors may have moved up to draft him, like they did Smiley, unlike Smiley, Rollins, a Michigan native, and man, the Dubs like players from Michigan, has proven himself in American college basketball. Now, while Toledo is a mid-major, so is Murray State, where Ja Morant put up 13 points per game his first year and 25 per game his second, and was drafted top 2 behind only Zion Williamson as a college sophomore. That means Rollins was somewhat comparable to Ja in their first year in college, where Rollins averaged 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1 steal per game, although Morant was significantly more improved in his second year over Rollins. Rollins' improvement as a sophomore, finishing the year with 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.7 steal per game is still pretty impressive. All his box metrics were improved over freshman year. His shot metrics hit 80% of his free throws, up from 78%, and he hit 47% of his field goals, up from 43%. Some better perspective is that his true shooting percentage was actually 57%, which is fairly efficient for a guard. He's got a max vertical leap of 36 inches. And did I mention he's got a 6'9" wingspan? His length should prove to be very disruptive on defense. And if you didn't already notice, averaging almost 2 steals per game is a big indicator if nothing else. A year or two with some of the best defenders in the league in Draymond Green will have this kid locking down the opponent's best guard sooner rather than later. One of his most important traits that won't show up on paper is his work ethic. He's a professional who's very disciplined and baggage-free. Rollins was originally projected to be a sleeper pick in the draft, but his value skyrocketed after his combine workouts. Being at a mid-major doesn't give you quite the exposure, so this was really his first opportunity to work out in front of team front offices and executives. His lone scrimmage saw him score 11 points in 11 minutes, going 5 for 9 from the field. Bob Myers had this to say about Ryan Rollins. "The gap between Rollins and the next guy was pretty big, so that's why we moved up." Asked what he saw in Rollins, and Myers replied, "Shot creation." This is one of those areas the Warriors have been lacking in the second unit. Despite Poole doing his best in that role for the Dubs, we could still use more facilitating in the backcourt, as Moody and Payton II aren't exactly cut out for that role. This has been a sore spot for the Warriors, where the second unit tended to fall apart in games, and Kerr has had to put Steph Curry in early for important games, or the Warriors had to put in extra effort to go on a run to end second quarters or overcome deficits in the third. In case you needed me to tell you this, Chiozza will likely no longer be a part of the roster, as this kid will likely be filling in those minutes. I'd list the improvements Rollins will provide over Chiozza, but I'm sure you guys are already well aware. Size, length, offense, defense, not to mention the fact that he's an excellent finisher. With the right development, he'll be just what the Warriors need to slow down teams when the starters are resting. Rollins has a very deliberate and calculated game. He doesn't seem rushed on the floor and plays at his own pace. Like I said earlier, Myers liked his ability to create shots, and he's exceptionally good at getting open, creating some open space, and then knocking down the shots, especially in the mid-range. From baseline fadeaways, at the elbow, to off-balance shots, he knows how to get to his spots, and when he gets up, it's a certified bucket. On defense, his quick instincts and length allows him to cut passing lanes and make the fast break or slow Euro adjustment to get the basket. He's got excellent footwork and a great feel for the game. He's most definitely an NBA-ready player. As far as player comps, he's rather similar to a Jalen Brunson type player. That's the only one I can really think of at the moment. The one knock on Rollins is his three-point shooting. His first year, he knocked down 32% from deep. However, his second year didn't see an improvement and actually fell slightly to 31%. This was not really a concern for Myers. What this will mean, however, is he will have a lot of open shots while on the floor with Poole, maybe less so with Payton. The Warriors may have to set him up with shooters such as Moody, Poole as I mentioned, Porter Jr. if he resigns, and other players that can stretch the floor. This isn't to say his shooting won't improve, but many second-year players who end up being good shooters see a big improvement in their three-point percentage their second year. That said, the front office wasn't overly concerned because his free throw percentage indicated that his three-point percentage will improve. Jordan Poole, for example, shot 37% from deep both years he was at Michigan and 83% from the line. Rollins' three-point percentage is much lower, but considering he did so well from the line, the front office is banking on a continuous improvement for Rollins. Overall, considering that Bob Myers already has a roster spot for Rollins, they have a ton of confidence in this kid and what he's able to bring to the table. That gives Kerr some flexibility on his options come this year. With improved playmaking from Rollins, I'm expecting Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody, and even Poole to benefit from Rollins being on the floor, not to mention PBJ. If the Warriors run a lineup with enough shooting such as Poole, Moody, and Rollins, then Rollins will have an opportunity to get more open looks, and it will be very important what he does with them. Kudos to the Warriors front office on another win in the 2022 NBA Draft. The Dubs just keep rolling in. Thanks for watching. Till next time, swish.
Can't need a shit cock, word I'm a player, the real player. I don't give a prayer, man, fuck a naysayer. I block so hard, sweetie get served. Call me Lonzo Ball, bitches get swerved.